Pregame.com.
Tuesday night, NBA Finals. We've got Oklahoma City at Miami. It's game 4. Brian, I'm going to be on the total in this game, and I was in the total in game 3. We got that right, and everything that, for all the reasons I like the under on Sunday night, we're going to be going the other way tonight. I'm going to be going with the over. I'll get to that in a second. You want to inject some thoughts on your observations from the game or what you're looking at, and then I'll break down what I'm looking at?
All right. Well, congratulations for you for winning with the under. I had Oklahoma City up by 10. And well, we won't get into it. It's basketball. These things happen. But the one thing I really counted on was Oklahoma City shutting down the fast break points in Miami. They did it terrifically in the first game. Miami was at the basket the entire game. They couldn't get back on defense. Miami just drove the ball down the middle. Perkins was supposed to be the enforcer defensively. He wasn't there. A lot of easy baskets for Miami in that game. And they didn't even need to shoot from the outside, and it's a good thing because they were terrible from the outside in that game.
Well, what I liked, the reason that I did, and it's funny that, you're bringing up the fast break points because I looked at it from a different standpoint. The first 2 games, Oklahoma City, after they got off to their bad starts, they controlled the tempo of the game. They got it at their pace, and they wore Miami down, I felt, in the fourth quarter, as Miami came off that grueling 7-game series to get there with Boston, and then they didn't really have any break, and they had to play, every other day. Well, yesterday was the first time Miami had two days in between games. They played on Thursday, then they didn't play on Sunday, till Sunday, I should say, and I felt that we would have Miami with fresher legs for a change, and I've always said it takes more energy to play defense than it does to play offense, and it was Oklahoma City that was enjoying all of those fast break points in the first 2 games. I felt that Miami would be able to slow them down and that the game wouldn't be one of those games where Miami jumped out to a big lead in both of the first 2 games. And then Oklahoma City kept pressing, and I think that's why we got the over totals. Plus, in the fourth quarter, we always had high fourth quarter point totals because of them being tired. I felt this was going to be a slower paced game because of hard defense. And Miami took away a lot of their fast break points, and it made Oklahoma City have to play an outside game, and we saw what happened. They were horrible. I think, my notes, they were 4 of 18 from three-point land in that game. And as you said, going to the bucket, Miami got to the foul line 35 times in this game. How did that change?
Yeah, you would expect that. Miami playing at home, a team that their best players drive to the basket. What concerned me with Oklahoma City was they just weren't even contesting them. And a lot of it came down to the foul trouble they were in. A lot of ticky-tack fouls that I thought if the best player doesn't get that 4th penalty right there, the 4th foul on him,
early in the third,
it's a totally different game. He doesn't have to sit down. And the coach took a lot of bull from it. People saying that he shouldn't have set him down. I think, you get 6 fouls for a reason. The NBA, how many superstars ever foul out of NBA games? If I was an NBA coach, I don't care if he's got 4 fouls. You let him play. Because at the end of the game, he ends the game with 5 fouls. You don't know how much longer he could have played till he gets that 6. They're saying the last 2 minutes of an NBA game, the last 6 minutes of an NBA game are more important than any other. When you're shooting and you're scoring, they don't give you 3 and 4 points the last 2 and 3 minutes. They give you the same amount of points. So I've never understood that at all.
It definitely helped Miami get back. There was a crucial part of the game where Oklahoma City was starting to take over again. And, with Durant in there, it would have been a different story for sure. What was more surprising, and we've talked about it in the Boston series, Miami, they got to the line. That's nothing new, Miami getting to the foul line. What's new is they made the foul shots.
Right.
They were 31 of 35 from the foul line, and that, to me, was the difference in the game because Oklahoma City, not only did they only get to the line 24 times, you're giving the other team 11 more opportunities, but Oklahoma City only shot 15 of 24 from the foul line. So if you had Oklahoma City, like you said you did, I feel your pain because you definitely should have covered that game. There's no question about that.
Yeah, and just a tip, I know being from Cleveland, I follow LeBron, and if Westbrook is anything like LeBron, he wants to win. If he could learn how to shoot a jump shot, he'd be unstoppable because he's got such a quick step. He distributes the ball very well, but he's a terrible shooter, and right now they're just laying off of him. He had even that last trip down when they needed that three-pointer, I'm thinking, don't shoot it, don't shoot it. And then he was so wide open, he says, well, you got to shoot that, and then he misses it.
Right.
And if he could just start hitting a few of these, that's going to be a dangerous team.
It is, and I'll tell you what also was a crucial part of that game, I felt. Shane Battier's been a big plus for Miami in this series. He's hit some key three-pointers, but the two key plays in the game were three-point misses where he got fouled. You don't foul a guy shooting a three-pointer.
Right.
I mean, come on. And they did it in a back-to-back in a 22-second span where he went to the line and shot 6 foul shots, made all 6. That was a huge point in the ball game. You just don't make those kind of mental mistakes. I think Oklahoma City comes out more focused on Tuesday night. I think that they'll be able to control the tempo on Tuesday, and Miami's not going to have that luxury of that extra day off, and I think we'll see a little bit of that fatigue that we saw in the first 2 games in the second half, and I'm going to flip-flop, and that's why I'm going to go with the over in this game and think that Oklahoma City is going to push the tempo here.
Yeah, I haven't decided one way or another here. I wouldn't lay any points. I don't want to lay any points with either of these teams in this series. Game 1 was just the perfect storm for Oklahoma City. That's why I did it. But since that point, I've been leaning towards the underdogs. These teams are so close right now. You don't want to lay points. But the line's also gone down. It's gone down to 3.5 as we speak right now. So you're losing a little bit of value there, a point off of yesterday. So it's a situation where, Oklahoma City, I don't know if they'll give a better effort, because they should have given a better effort yesterday. They were off of a loss. They had just lost the home field advantage, home court advantage. So we'll have to see. But unless they start stopping LeBron from driving to the basket, they're not going to win this series.
Well, the other big difference in the last 2 games, I mean, we talked about Shane Battier being a major factor. Finally, Dwayne Wade has showed up in the last 2 games. He scored 24 and 25 points and has taken some of that heat, excuse the pun, off of LeBron having to carry the load because, you can't be a one-man. I don't care how good you are. One guy cannot carry an NBA team, especially against a team that's as deep as, Oklahoma City is. And the other change that they made yesterday is they did start Bosch. Bosch started the game rather than coming off the bench, and I think that helped clog up the middle too, that Oklahoma City wasn't able to drive the way they were driving before. I'm going to go with the over on Tuesday night. That's going to be my play here on the video. We're going to be back next. We're going to look at a baseball game for Wednesday night. We're going to look interleague action. The LA Dodgers travel to the surprisingly hot Oakland A's. He's Bryan Leonard. I'm Marco D'Angelo. We'll be right back here on pregame.tv.